Okay, so I was giving myself until like the middle of the month, right? So I put in the effort, the work, all of that mess, like, right? And because of what they're doing with this AI mess and all this other mess, right? It's just causing a disaster. But let it cause a disaster, okay? Right? Because whatever affects one end is always going to affect the other, right? That's how energy works. Anywho, let's do a rundown. I know I haven't talked on here for a while. Kind of just been running like that crazy frequency the other day after going out to the cemetery. Anyways, the last thing that I did was I pulled everything out from underneath my cabinets, all of my stuff that I have made, right? And that's just one part of it. That's not dealing with the other part, which is other things that I've not even shown people that I've done, right? Uh, so the videos that I posted on the timeline was basically my thought process on how I come to decisions, how I process and make decisions, right? Because the whole world runs on patterns, right? If it didn't run on patterns, they wouldn't study patterns, right? Do they ever want to change them? Well, if they're beneficial for them, no, right? So I'm just looking at it helps to put together the right pieces for the bigger picture so that you can move accordingly. That's strategy. So I had this strange idea out of nowhere about selling my car and getting a scooter, right? A scooter. And I was like, man, that thing only goes like 35 miles per hour, right? Because I'm trying to get rid of insurance. I'm trying to get rid of being entangled with the system, okay? All right? Because it's like a loop trap, right? If you go above 50 cc's, which is the 20 to 30, 35 max speed, then you move over into motorcycle land and you have to get a motorcycle license. Then you have to uh, register it, and then you have to tag it, and then you have to get insurance for it. And it's just a whole big old monkey dance again, right? And I was like, But then I was also like, well, how are you going to get that thing into the woods? And I was like, good point. And it was like bicycle, right? Bicycle solves every single one of those problems. I can go faster than 25, 35 miles per hour on a bike. I can haul all my stuff on a bike. I don't have to worry about a registration. I know nothing, right? You don't even have to feed it. So then I had that idea, and I was like, whoa. And a whole new world opened up, and a whole new plan, and a whole plan took place. And I said, oh, goodness, right? Right? How fast do you think I would be able to take a vacation to go to Montana, um, which is a place that I've really been wanting to go for a really long time, right? On $15 an hour, driving an hour and 20 minutes a day to go to a job, paying $15 an hour, and then my bills on top of it. You're not meant to go on vacation. No. Right? Anyways, so I was like, this is a blessing, right? I'm getting rid of rent. I'm getting rid of car insurance. I'm getting rid of car registration. I'm getting rid of gas bill. I'm getting rid of water bill. I'm getting rid of internet bill. I'm getting rid of everything, right? Everything. I have not been working for what, like 2 weeks, almost three now. And ask me how much money I've spent. Very little. Ask me how much gas I've used. Nearly none. And I was like, wow, it's really, really cheap for me to exist. Right? So where is all this stress coming from? Right? You know where all the stress is coming from. Right? So I said, I mean, I don't want to just like throw away all my things. So I'm going to find the cheap storage unit to put my small amount of things. Gonna rent a box truck, right? Gonna load it all myself. I'm gonna move it all myself. I'd rather be moving my stuff for me than somebody else, 3 times. But yeah. So I got a text message last night at around 10 something that uh someone wanted to buy all my bar clamps that I have for woodworking. And this gentleman, he texted me, and I was like, sure, I'll meet you whenever you have time. And so we met at like 1 today. You know what I appreciate about the older generation is that they know how to be where they say they'll be when they say they'll be there. Right? I really appreciate that about them. I really think I'm like a really old soul because I feel like I relate much more. Or it could have just been like being around my grandparents my whole life, probably. But like, I met with him, this gentleman, today at 1, and it was so nice, right? Just had like a little mini conversation with him, and uh, I feel like everyone should get back involved with the Craigslist community because that's where a lot of the older people uh, still do their stuff, right? Any house, the reason that I live in a house, the reason that I have my cabin in Tennessee is because older people use Craigslist. They list their things on Craigslist. Get back on Craigslist if you need things, right? Craigslist was cool before uh, Facebook and all this other mess, right? So yeah, like I rented this house through Craigslist, rented the cabin through Craigslist, and generally they're not like price gouging the mess out of you. These are just like little homes that they own or somebody built in their family or whatnot. Like, highly, highly recommend doing that for your area. Like my rent here, whenever I moved in, was $600 a month. It went up 50 whenever like the price of stuff went up, which was fun. My electric, I only pay uh, them $50 a month for it, but I have propane heating and propane stove, and I think it heats my water heater, right? And let me tell you, when the power goes out, electricity goes out, like I can still cook. I'm still warm. It's very nice, right? Like everybody makes a big hoopla about like electricity and stuff, forgets the OG, right? So here is the plan. I texted my landlord. I have not heard anything back from him. I just did this not too long ago. I went and picked up bolts this morning because the guys who changed my oil didn't put one of the bolts back in on my, what do they call it? The skid guard or whatever, like underneath your car. Yeah, they didn't put one of the bolts back in. And so I went and bought bolts so that I can fix that, right? Because I'm going to try to sell my car. And I need, like, not the tiniest stuff in the world, like being an issue, right? I did accidentally break whenever I was changing and this is because shit's made of plastic, right? They make it to break. Uh, the windshield wiper on the back, I've been debating whether I'm going to change that myself or not. I don't know, it's like a $33 part. I'm really thinking it might be worth it for me to, like, change it. I have to look at the process again. I don't think it looks very difficult. So yeah, and then I'm gonna, like, wash it, detail it. That'll be the last thing, after I'm done running around in it and whatever, and walking in and out of pine straw and such, you know. So I don't know what I'm waiting on from, like, the landlord or whatnot, right? Because you can't make somebody stay here, right? I didn't re-sign a lease after my first year being here, right? And shit happens. I do have the rent money, but for another month. But there's other bills that go on top of that, right? And sure, I could. My point is that I know there's a million ways to cling to something. Yeah, we can make excuses. We can find ways to do anything. We can. But should you? Is the question that you need to ask yourself. Is it healthy to? Is it serving you? Is it serving your growth? Right? And because the answer is no to all of that, is the reason that I am choosing to take the route that I'm taking. Not only that, my work is the only thing that makes me happy. My energy work is the only thing that makes me happy. It's the only thing that I do and have done every single day of my life for many years now that takes priority over everything, right? Like, I move my life around and orchestrate my life in a way that accommodates me being able to make that a priority, right? And, like, paycheck jobs just become like a passive activity, right? So the decision that I am making is the best decision. It is the healthiest decision. It is the most adventurous, non-repetitive decision, right? People really don't understand that, like, they're clinging to the material, whatever is they're clinging to complacency, to comfort. Some people don't want to have to, like, figure it out as they go. Some people don't like spontaneity. They don't like the unknown. And maybe that's because they've always been, like, confined to a particular bubble, right? They've not had, like, they've not been thrown into that type of experience, right? Where you kind of look up and you realize that the source of all of your stress is this system, right? It is the paying for gas that they constantly hike up, the paying for water that they constantly just, I swear they just make up numbers. Uh, the internet where they just make up numbers. I had to call my internet provider because they tacked on extra charges out of nowhere, which was the same amount that they sold me the product at. So they're like, oh, you can get internet for like $20. Well, why is it 40? Oh, well, that's a $10 modem fee and then a 15 for extra security and blah, blah. I didn't ask for all that, right? But they expect you to just pay it and not question it, right? I know for the introvert, I know you hate this, right? Because I know I hate it. I hate having to deal with mess like that. But I got on that phone and was like, what the hell is this? Right? Oh, well, we can take those charges off. Oh, you mean you can take off every fucking thing that you added? Right? Can you refund me everything that you've been taking? Like, or actually, they only did it 1 month, right? Because I'm about to get the shit just completely cut off, right? So it's whatever. Ugh. But I did shut down my store site, right? I will pick that. They keep it for 2 years. So everything in there is saved, right? It's just going to basically stop payments. So uh, I can pick up on that whenever I can figure out like what it is, right? Because broadening your experiences, clearing your mind can give you new perspectives or new ideas, new inspiration for new things, right? Instead of jumping from one thing into another, just take some time, right? Just take some time to like figure it out, right? I'm super excited about this. I am not worried about this because I did like drive around in some like metal tin can with strangers, right? Right? I'm not worried. Like, no, no. So I am super stoked about like all the places I can go, want to go to the ancient places and see how my energy, like, this will be like just a whole new thing, right? Like, it's going to be fun. Like, I'm not just going to these places, like, I do what I do, right? And that's going to hopefully be able to, like, learn some things and have a bit of a different lens going into places now. Like, last time I was observing their architecture, right? The stuff that they have built and blah, blah, blah. And this time I'm observing a different architecture. It's all natural architecture. So we'll see how that energy differs from the other. So I'm super stoked about this and it's going to be a good time. And that's how you know that you make right decisions, when you get super duper duper excited about it. And it just makes sense. Yeah.